Alright, time to put our pig together. So we're going to make a new assembly file, and we want to change this to place instead of iLogic components. We're going to put in all of our pig parts, so body, ear, head, leg, nose, tail, rear. Open all those up, click somewhere on your screen, click OK, and we only needed one of everything except for we need 2 ears. Let's right click the ear and see if we can go copy and paste. There's the second ear, and it might be easier to just place in the other 3 legs. So let's go place, leg, open, 1, 2, 3. Right click and click OK. Alright. The head's going to go on the front of this thing, so first let's ground the body. That's going to make sure that I can't drag that anywhere. We're going to use insert constraints for a lot of this. So let's go to insert, I click on this edge and this edge, and that should snap those 2 things together. So now those are stuck. Same thing with the rear and this end over here. Okay, easy enough. When we go to put the nose in place, still using an insert constraint, we want to switch how that's aligned so it sticks out instead of in, and hit apply. And we're going to do the same kind of thing here with the top of this and the inside of that. Alrighty. Now it gets a little bit trickier with the other stuff. So we're going to hit cancel, and we're going to constrain some of these legs on here. Now these legs are made to have the same axis as the body, so we're going to mate the axis together first. Oop, wrong one. If you click the wrong thing, you can click the first selection point and just change it. And even though these are going to be facing the wrong way, this still should work. We'll figure out a way to flip it in a second. Okay, so now our pig has 4 legs on one side and no legs on the other, and that can't be good. But no matter, we'll figure it. We want to make sure that all of the legs will stay flush with each other. So I'm going to say that these 2 are flush, that these 2 are flush, and that these 2 are flush. Okay. I also want, let's see here, how could I do this? How did I do this? So right now they're all linked, which I want them to be linked, but I want 2 of these to be facing the other direction. Alright, I think the key to this is going to be opening one of the legs, going into our origin folder, and then making some of these planes visible. So I want the one that runs sideways through visible, and the one that runs the other way through visible. And let's return to our pig. So now we can use this plane as a reference point for making other constraints. So for example, I want a mate constraint between this plane, and if I can right click, maybe I can select another surface. That face looks good, but I don't want it to be right on it. I want it to have an offset of 1 inch. Okay, and I should be able to say the same thing on the other side. So let's take a look back here. Now I want that. If you right click and go select other, yep, that's the face that I want. And I want a 1 inch offset on that as well. Hopefully that went the right direction. And see where it went. I think that's the one we just put it on. Yeah, check that out. And it looks like that's going to do it for us. So let's see if we can do it to this one as well. We want to have a not the axis, not center point. It should be a face, and it's that face. We want a 1-inch offset with that as well. And looks like it's going the wrong direction, so make that a -1. Hit apply. And we'll do the same thing with this. And with this face over here, so you have to right click, select other, not the center point, normal face. We'll have a 1-inch offset. And I wonder if we switch that to a flush constraint instead of a mate, if that would flip things around correctly. It looks like it does, but it wants a negative instead of a positive. Okay, hit apply. And what's the bottom of our pig look like? Hey, it looks like all his feet are pointing the right way. We're going to lock one of his legs in place. I'm going to make it grounded. And since all the other ones are linked to it, we have a flush constraint, so he sits flat on the ground. That should be good to go. Okay, now we have to put some ears on him. And we made the center point of these ears. I think that's the center point. The same as this. So let's hit apply. There we go. I do want those ears to be on the same plane. So let's turn one of those sketches on. That one looks good. I'll say make that visible. And I want those two to be flush. We also want this to be a certain distance away from this face here, so right click, select other, and let's pick that face with this plane. I want it to be offset by how much? Oh, let's call it a 1/2 inch and see what that looks like. That looks pretty good. And we want a little bit of an angle between these guys. So let's make an angle constraint with this flat surface and with this flat surface. And let's play with some different numbers. What does 60 look like? Oh, it doesn't like that at all. Let's hit cancel. And just take a look at the front of this dude. Somehow, his legs got wonky on us. Okay, so if you find yourself in a position like this where you want it all to be lined up and all of a sudden it's not, you can double click on one of the parts. And if you right click on a surface, you can say look at. So we're looking straight at the bottom of them. And then I'm going to return. Right click on my view cube and say set view as top, even though it's not the top. Click here, right click, set current view as the front. Flip it to where it should be the top. Set current view as the top. Good. And then if we go to this corner, we should be able to say set as home, fit to view. And now when I look at the front of them again, it should all be lined up. Alright, we might just cheat a little bit. We'll let the welders figure out where exactly these things need to be placed. Let's kind of get them close to being right. And take a look at the tail. Tail's the last thing to put on. And this is a real pain to put on because we don't have any flat surfaces on this. We don't have any good flat surfaces on this either. When they go to actually weld this on, they're just going to weld it in place. It's not a big deal. So let's see if we can't get, how about the center point of this to line up with the center point of that. Okay, And then let's see if we can't get a plane to show up on this. Not that one, not that one. Maybe it is that plane. We'll make our XZ plane visible. Okay, so the center is lined up. Let's see if we can't get maybe a tangent constraint. This plane and this surface, and then flip it so it should stick to the outside instead of the inside, which didn't seem to do what I wanted it to do. Oh wow. Somehow that's on the wrong part. I'll pause that. I think our first problem was with the center point. So I'm going to click on the tail so I can find it over here. I'm going to delete that make constraint. And instead, I'm going to go right back to this plane. Say I want that plane tangent to this rounded surface here. And it needs to stick out. Alright, so what just happened? That should be able to move just about anywhere. It does not look tangent though. I think this has a much different idea of tangent than I do. Alright, try one more thing. We're going to make this axis visible. And I want this axis to line up with this axis. Aha! I think we got it. Okay, so here's tails going straight out. Ideally, when they weld it together, it's going to go up at a little bit of an angle. But for our purposes, this will be fine. I just realized our pig has no eyes. We're going to make a couple of eyes in the next video and call it good.